as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Diamond.
Evening, Francis. You look like you're going out.
Yes, sir. Miss Asher wants me to go down to the delicatessen for some cold cuts.
Oh, where is Miss Asher?
In the study, sir.
Well, I'll see you later, Francis. Why don't you bring back some roll mop?
Roll mop, sir?
Herring with the bends. Very toothy.
Yes, sir.
Ollie, oxen free.
Rick. Hi.
Hi. Well, get the silk thing there.
Lounging pajamas.
Yeah. I guess we're going to stay in, huh?
Uh-huh. I just sent Francis out for some food.
I met him at the door.
Look, I've got to do a few things in the kitchen. Why don't you stretch out on the couch and take it easy until dinner's ready?
Okay, I'm pretty tired. Might rock out.
No, a little sleep might do you some good. Here, read a magazine if you want to stay awake.
Oh, swell. Gory detective. Who sends you these things? The Corpse of the Month?
Pretty bad. I won't be long.
Okay. Oh, no. The case of the bloody... Oh. It was going on 11 o'clock, and the fog encircled the old house like a thin, wet blanket. Oh, swell. The figure of a man crept stealthily across the gravel of the garden path. These writers really dream it up.
Mr. Diamond?
What? How did you get in here?
I followed you from your office. Shh. You left the door unlocked when you came in.
Well, now, look.
I know I shouldn't have come into someone else's house, but this is a matter of life and death.
Hey, pulling down the blinds.
I don't want anyone to see us talking.
Well, you're on the 8th floor. Who's chasing you? A herd of monkeys?
Please, you must listen.
Now, look, if you got troubles, come to my office in the morning.
Tomorrow morning may be too late. I'm supposed to die tonight.
Try breathing. You expand your chest, take a lung full of air.
No,
Yes, it does wonders. Keeps you around for days. You better get out of here.
Please, Mr. Diamond, don't give me away. Please.
Yeah, baby. Wait a minute. Duck under that desk.
Oh, bless you, Mr. Diamond.
Rick, I thought I heard you talking to someone.
Talking? Oh, no. Must have been reading out loud. This is swell literature. The case of the grisly ghost. Oh.
I like to keep up on the exploits of a private detective. You don't tell me anything about your cases.
I'm modest. Hey, you got your coat on. Where are you going?
Oh, Francis just called. He's had a flat tire. I'm going to pick him up in the other car.
Don't you want me to do it?
Oh, I'm not going to let you out of this house. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Read The Grizzly Ghost. It's not bad.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
Okay, Spider-Man, you can come out now.
Oh, thank you.
Now, what the devil's going on?
I told you my life's in danger. I need help.
Tell me about it.
I haven't time now. Come to this address in about an hour. My name's Leeds. Leland L. Leeds.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
I must get back before they miss me. I don't want them to know I got out. Say I called you and told you to come over. Here's the address on this card. Please don't fail me, Mr. Diamond.
Now, wait a minute. My fee's $100 a day in expenses.
Of course. I'll have a check for you. Goodbye.
He went out like an undertaker stealing a can of embalming fluid, and I poured myself something just about as strong. Helen would scalp me for leaving, but for some reason, nutty little guys like that interest me. I left Helen a note saying I'd be back later and took off to the address Leland L. Leeds had given me. It was out of town about 10 miles, but after hunting around for a while and running up a good-sized taxi fare, I finally found the house.
Yes?
Yes. I got a call from a Mr. Leeds at this address. He asked me to come over.
My brother?
I don't know.
Well, it couldn't have been. He's very sick. He's upstairs sleeping.
Well, he was just coasting off to Dreamland when he called me. I think you'd better let me in.
Oh, a detective. All right. Just, what did my brother tell you, Mr.
Diamond. He said his life was in danger.
I'm Nina Leeds. I think you'd better come into the living room, Mr. Diamond. Dr. Miller can explain things better than I can.
Sure.
Roger? This is Mr. Diamond. He's a detective.
Oh?
Lee just called him. This is Dr. Miller, Mr. Diamond.
Hello, Doctor.
How do you do? You from the police?
No, private stuff.
Oh, I see. Now, Mr. Diamond, I'm afraid you made a trip for nothing.
Well, here are the drinks.
George, this is Mr. Diamond. He's a private detective.
What?
Mr. Diamond, this is George Brodeen.
How are you?
Oh, fine, thank you. Anything wrong?
I don't know.
Lee phoned Mr. Diamond and told him he was in danger.
How did you know that, Doctor? I told Miss Leeds what he said, but not you.
I'm Mr. Leeds' doctor. He's having a nervous breakdown and suffers from an extreme persecution complex. If he called a detective, I'm sure he must have said something like that.
That's quite correct, Mr. Diamond.
What do you do, Mr. Brodeen?
Why, I'm with the New York Museum. I'm a friend of the family. I've been watching Lee break up for the past month.
Mm-hmm. May I talk to your brother, Miss Leeds?
I don't think you can. I gave him a very strong sedative.
Let me get you a drink, Mr. Diamond. When Lee wakes up, you can talk to him.
Sure. We went into the bar, and she got out a big bottle and 2 glasses. I forgot all about Leland L. Leeds for a while and started concentrating on his lovely sister. It was easy.
Champagne?
Sure, but I've run out of slippers.
I've got a small foot. Might take you a long time to get enough.
I drink fast. It's the open toes that bother me.
I like the patter. Where'd you come from?
Same place you did, lover. Experience Alley.
What do people call you after they get to know you better?
Oh, different things at different times. For now, you can call me Rick.
And later?
Oh, you'll think of something easier. It's like that when you haven't got much time to talk.
Here's to later, Rick.
Yeah. What does the doctor specialize in?
Roger's a brain specialist. Mental disorders mostly. It's Lee. He's off again.
Maybe he's been listening to Sam Spade.
Come on.
You'd better stay down here, Nina. I'll take care of it.
I'm going up. Lee needs me.
George, get my bag. It's in the hall.
Right.
You'd better not come in, Mr. Diamond.
I think I'd better.
Nina.
Lee, what is it?
I saw the blood again. Oh, Mr. Diamond, I'm glad you came.
Now, calm down, Lee. Everything's going to be all right.
Get away from me. He thinks I'm insane. You all do. You want my idol, and you stop at nothing.
Now, there's no sense in this much self-indulgence. You're
Here's
not...
your bag, Roger.
Thanks.
What are you going to do?
Just give you something to make you sleep.
I don't want to sleep. I'll wake up and see the blood again.
There's no blood. It's just your imagination. You're overwrought.
You think I'm crazy. But I saw it. I tell you, I saw it.
Now, this won't hurt.
No, I don't want to sleep. Please, Mr. Diamond, help me.
Lee, do what Roger tells you for my sake.
Come on. The injection should take hold.
I'll get
Just
up.
a minute.
I won't go to sleep.
Lee, please.
Then leave Mr. Diamond with me. I want to talk to him.
Well, I guess it'll be all right. Don't stay too long, Mr. Diamond. I want him to rest.
Okay, Doctor.
Remember, he's not at all rational. Come on, Nina.
I'll see you downstairs, Mr. Diamond.
Hey, what's the idea, Leeds?
I'm locking the door. I don't want anyone coming in. Pardon me for walking around in circles. I got to stay awake.
Uh-huh.
Those people downstairs are trying to drive me crazy.
They must have been working overtime.
They're after my idol.
Your what?
My idol. That carved image standing on the night table.
Oh, yeah.
Here, look at it. Look at it.
Well, that's dandy. How many box tops did you have to save?
Mr. Diamond, at this moment, you are holding $100,000 in your hand.
I am?
Last month, my grandfather passed on and left his entire estate to my sister and me. Among the effects was that idol. It was left to me.
What is it, platinum?
Oh, no, Mr. Diamond. That is the lost idol of King Tut.
I always wondered what happened to it.
Oh, then you know the legend.
Well, I'm a little hazy on it. Maybe you'd better bring me up to date.
Oh, of course. It was supposed to have been buried with King Tut. However, the story goes that a slave absconded with it before they sealed the tomb.
And that makes it worth $100,000?
I guess so.
You guess. You don't know?
I only know what my grandfather told me before he passed on. He told me its value and said there was a curse on it.
What does it say? Crime doesn't pay?
Well, Mr. Diamond, it seems that on the first night of the new moon, after one has gained possession of the idol, he will die.
Next week, Tom Swift and his electric grandmother.
You don't believe me?
Oh, sure.
No, you don't. You're just like the rest. But it may interest you, Mr. Diamond, to know that 1 month after the idol was uncovered and my grandfather gained possession, he died. It was a new moon.
How old was he?
74.
Oh, well, that couldn't be it. Now, relax and tell me why you came to me.
What about your fee?
Oh, forget it. You can just buy me a broom to ride around on. Good night, Mr. Leeds.
Remember, Mr. Diamond, it's a new moon. You don't have much time.
Oh, brother.
Did you talk to her, Mr. Diamond?
You might call it that.
Now do you understand?
Your point's well taken, Doctor. What about that hunk of stone? Maybe if you gave him a teddy bear?
Oh, the idol he's got is absolutely worthless. His grandfather had the same unusual ideas about it.
Is there such an idol?
Well, there's a legend, but no one has ever found even the slightest clue that it's a fact. Now, I've examined Lee's idol, and it's certainly not worth any more than the granite it's carved from.
Well, I'll be saying goodnight. I hope he gets better.
Can't I get you another drink, Mr. Diamond? You certainly deserve something for your trouble.
No, thanks. Goodbye, Doctor, Mr. Rodin. Thanks, Miss Leeds.
I wish I could make this up to you.
I'll take a rain check.
It'll be raining a lot this month.
Yeah. Well, good night, Miss Leeds.
Good night.
I went out and got a cab. As far as I was concerned, the frightened little man in the nightshirt was going to end up modeling straitjackets, and the private detective would only add to the confusion. It was 8 o'clock, and I told the cabbie to take me to 975 Park Avenue. Helen would be angry, but it was worth going back to. A couple of hours with her could make a guy as contented as a bear that had just cornered the honey market. We pulled up in front of Helen's apartment, and I paid the cabbie. I was just going in when a small convertible skidded to a stop in front of the building.
Mr. Diamond! Mr. Diamond!
It was Leland L. Leeds again, and you could still see part of the nightshirt under his topcoat. He leaned out of the car window and called.
Over here, Mr. Diamond. Please, I must talk with you again.
I'd had enough of the jumpy little man with the idol, so I started into the apartment without answering. He called again, climbed out of the car, and started to cross the street toward me. I looked back just in time to see the other car swing in toward me. Look out, Leeds! I ran back into the street and looked after the disappearing car. The lights were off, and I couldn't get the license number. It was too far away. I leaned down by the little man in the nightshirt. He was pretty far away, too. He was dying and hurt.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes, Leeds?
Take the idol. When you left, I found out why it was worth all that money. They didn't want me to tell you, so they followed me and ran me down. It's in my coat pocket.
He died lying on his back in the street. Several people were coming out of the building, so I reached into his pocket and pulled out a chamois bag. I guess the idol was inside, so I put it in my coat and went in to call the police.
Oh, Mr. Diamond, Miss Asher's been worried.
Hello, Francis. Tell her I'm back and let me use the phone.
Certainly, sir. She's upstairs. Is something wrong, sir? You look worried.
The man got hit by a car. I've got to call the police.
Oh, my goodness. Is he hurt badly?
Bad enough to get buried.
Oh, my goodness.
Homicide, Sergeant Otis.
Otis, let me talk to the lieutenant.
Is this Diamond?
No, it's the Beaver boys. Now put the lieutenant on the phone.
And what do you do with all those tired jokes? You can't keep using them.
I give them away to idiots. Want to start a collection?
Oh. Lieutenant Levinson.
Walt, this is Diamond. I got a body for you.
I go off duty in 20 minutes. Call back then.
Lying out in front of Helen's apartment, 975 Park.
Rick, my stomach is bothering me. Why can't you be a good boy and stay out of trouble?
Take some soda and get over here.
Take some soda. Every time you call, I end up taking enough to give an elephant the hiccups.
Well, you're a fine one. Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. I didn't know you were on the phone.
Wait a minute, Walt. Hello, baby. I'm talking to the lieutenant. Aren't you afraid you'll catch cold in that thing?
I'm mad at you.
Oh, you're cute.
Hey, what's going on?
Just Helen. If you could see her, your ulcers would start popping like chestnuts.
Say hello.
The law sends you his greetings.
Hello to the law.
She says...
I know, I heard it. Now, what about the stiff?
His name's Leland L. Leeds. He got belted by a car. It was too far away to get the number.
What makes you think it's a job for homicide?
Get over here and Helen will give you the story. I've got some work to do.
But wait a minute, Rick.
Oh, you're getting lazy. What's the matter? Don't you want to find out things for yourself?
Rick, what happened? Francis told me some man got hit by a car.
Right on your doorstep.
Oh.
Let's go into the other room, baby. I'll tell you all about it. We went into the warm study, and Helen poured me a tall drink. I briefed her on what had happened earlier in the evening, and she sat down next to me. There's something about red hair that does things to me. It smelled fresh and clean, and with her that close, I could have been sitting in the middle of the Arctic and still kept my temperature above 102.
Rick, do you have to go back out there?
Well, somebody's got to tell his sister, and in a way, I feel a little responsible.
Are you going to give her the idol?
Hmm?
The idol. The thing you took from poor Mr. Leeds' coat. You could at least show me what I'm playing second fiddle to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I nearly forgot about it. Oh, here it is in this chamois bag.
Oh, what an ugly little thing. And that's supposed to be worth all that money?
Oh, that was what Leeds, Hey, something's missing.
Yeah, one of the eyes.
Must have come loose when the car hit him. Probably in the bag. Yeah, there it is.
Rick!
Yeah. Well, it was painted over. You'd never guess it unless you pried it loose.
That's as big as a marble. Is it real?
Well, you've got enough of them around, you tell me.
It is. Rick, I think it's the pigeon blood. Why, it's worth a fortune. What are you doing?
I'm scratching the other one. Well, Mr. Leeds wasn't so squirrely after all. This is ridiculous. You only read about things like this.
2 pigeon blood rubies. No wonder he thought it was worth $100,000.
He said he found out tonight. He must have been scratching at them.
Oh, then it wasn't just a hit and run.
I don't know. Baby, I don't want to get hung up with a lot of explanation to Walt.
Rick, what are you doing?
Taking the other eye out. There. Now here. Hang on to these and don't let them get out of your little hot hand. When Walt gets up here, tell him what I've told you.
Well, will you be back?
An hour ago, I laughed at a little guy when he told me he was going to die. He said it was a full moon and he had a curse on him. I'm still a skeptic, but I'm a new boy when it comes to voodoo. I've got to hurry over there before the whole bunch of them turn into bats. I went down in the service elevator and out on the street. The wagon was driving off with Leeds, and Walt and Otis were going into the building when I slipped up to the convertible and got in. Leeds had left the keys in the ignition like I figured, so I took off and headed across town. 20 minutes later, on a lonely stretch of road, I started counting suspects. All 3 of them could be in on it. Dr. Miller, who said Leeds was insane. George Brodeen, a man from the museum who said the idol was worthless. And that lovely sister. I didn't notice the car pulling up behind me until it was too late. It was doing a good 70, and as it swung around to pass me, the guy at the wheel cut in sharp and hit me broadside. Hey, look out! I went through a white fence and over an embankment. The car rolled, and somebody dropped the night on my head. I went to sleep. I don't know how long it was before I started coming around, but when I tried to shake myself back, it was like pulling my head out of a barrel of molasses. It stuck to my eyes and plugged up my ears. I tried to claw the stickiness away, but my hands were like 2 baseballs. I moved my shoulders and felt the stiffness in my back. It spread out to my hands and down to my feet. I opened my mouth and took in a lot of air. I finally made it. Someone was trying to get me from the highway, so I pulled myself clear of the wreck and started moving in a circle, keeping whoever it was at a good distance. I was too pushed around to put up a fight, so I made it back to the highway and walked along until I found a little gas station on the road.
The joint ain't open.
And then your lock's busted.
No, it ain't.
Then I floated through the wall. Where's your phone?
It ain't for public use.
Try isn't.
Okay, wise guy, the joint isn't open. The phone isn't for public use, and you isn't so big you can't get tossed out on your face.
And you isn't so wealthy, $5 won't make a difference.
Oh, why didn't you say so? Phone's on the wall.
Thanks. You know the Leeds family?
Yeah, they get gas here sometimes.
Hello. Evergreen 34369, operator. How far is the house from here? I'm a little turned around.
About a half a mile.
Hello, Francis? Is Lieutenant Levinson still there? No? Well, just tell him to get out to 19319 Jackson Heights Boulevard. I've got a killer for him. Yeah, oh my goodness. Now hurry it up.
You a cop?
Shamus. What do you take for the use of your car for an hour?
My wife would kill me. I'll drive you wherever you want to go.
He gave me a lift in his old sedan, and 10 minutes later I was ringing the doorbell to the Leeds house. I was glad the girl answered. She made me feel better right away.
Oh, Mr. Diamond, come in.
Thank you. Where are your friends?
Raj and George? They went out to look for my brother. He disappeared right after you left. I'm terribly worried.
Oh, have you got that drink? I could use it now.
Certainly. I don't know why Lee ran off like that. He shouldn't have been driving in his condition.
Were Roger and George together when they left to look for Lee?
No, they took separate cars. Why? Has something happened, Mr. Diamond? Have you heard from my brother?
I guess I'd better give it to you straight. Your brother's dead, Miss Leeds. I'm sorry.
Dead? Oh, no.
He was hit by a car.
It's all because of that horrible idol. That stupid, horrible idol. If my grandfather hadn't told Lee it was worth that much money, this never would have happened.
Did you think it was worth anything?
No, of course not. But we couldn't convince Lee. Now he's dead. Would you please answer that, Mr. Diamond?
Sure. You take it easy.
Nina, Oh, what are you doing here, Diamond?
Did you find Lee?
Why, no, I didn't. I've gone to every place I thought he could possibly be. I even looked up your address and went over there, but the building was closed.
You better go in and see Miss Leeds, Doc. She's pretty upset.
Upset? Nina, what's wrong?
Oh, Raj, it's Lee. He's been killed.
What?
That's right.
But how did it happen?
Bingo. I'll tell you as soon as I let Mr. Brodeen in.
There, Nina. Just let yourself on.
Come in, Mr. Brodeen.
Well, Mr. Diamond, what are you doing here?
I think I'd better have a sign made. The doctor and Miss Leeds are in the living room.
Why, something happened?
Mr. Leeds is dead.
What?
This is the most surprised household I've ever run into.
Roger, is this true?
I guess so.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Nina. Is there anything I can do?
No, thank you.
Where did this happen, Mr. Diamond?
In front of 975 Park Avenue. Car hit him. I was with him when he died.
Oh, this is terrible.
I thought at first it was an accident, but I'm not sure.
What do you mean?
When I left to come out here, someone ran me off the road, nearly killed me.
Who would want to kill Lee and then try to kill you? Probably a coincidence.
Certainly. Probably just a drunk.
Could have been. Lee gave me this before he died.
A chamois bag. What's in it?
The idol.
Oh, that awful thing.
What do you want done with it, Miss Leeds?
I don't care. Just get it out of this house.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. You want the thing, Doctor?
Why, what for?
That's a good question. How about you, Brodeen? You want it?
Oh, well, what would I want a worthless piece of stone for?
Well, as long as no one wants it, may I use this fire poker, Miss Leeds?
What are you going to do with it?
The idol is worthless. It's caused a lot of trouble for you and your family. I'm going to break it up.
No! Give me that, George!
Well, Brodeen, you're sure getting grabby.
All right, now all of you stay right where you are.
Well, for a museum collector, that's a pretty modern gun.
Yes, and I know how to use it.
George!
This is the hokiest case I've ever been on. Even the dialogue's bad.
I suppose you think you're pretty clever making me show my hand like that.
I read Gory Detective. I found that the idol was really worth all that money, but I had to make the killer tip himself. You did.
Mr. Diamond, do you mean my brother was really right all along?
In a way, yes. He believed what his grandfather had told him. But it wasn't until tonight when he scratched one of the eyes of the idol that he knew for sure.
Scratched one of the eyes?
That's right. Pigeon blood rubies, painted over.
Well, now I'm leaving you.
Well, that's good, but you're minus something.
Minus what?
A couple of rubies. I took them out of the idol.
You're lying.
Take a look at the bag.
What? They're gone. I'll kill you for this.
Give me the gun, George.
Look out! He's going to shoot!
Give me the gun.
All right, everyone. This is the police.
You killed Mr. Diamond!
He shot Diamond, all right, Lieutenant.
Put the bracelets on him, Otis.
Sure. Come here, you.
Not him. Put him on Diamond for disturbing the peace. Pin the medal on the other guy.
No, no, no.
Sure thing. How'd you like that, wise guy?
Oh, no.
Rick?
I'm dying.
Ricky?
Oh.
Rick, wake up.
All right, George. Drop the gun.
Rick, you've been dreaming.
Oh, Helen.
Oh, you were having a big, fat nightmare. I came down from upstairs and you were asleep on the couch with Gory Detective.
Oh, well, I started reading some story and I got mixed up with Egyptian idols and the rubies. I got shot.
That's the case of the ruby eyes.
That was the craziest dream. I solved the crime and got shot 6 times for my trouble.
Oh.
Lieutenant Levinson and Otis came in and arrested me for disturbing the peace.
After you were shot 6 times?
Yeah. Otis loved it.
That wasn't in the magazine.
I worked out my own ending. Move in.
That's pretty. What are the lyrics?
Well, There are an awful lot of them.
Sing 'em.
Okay. I'm sitting high on a hilltop,
Oh, I remember that.
tossing all my troubles to the moon.
It's from Thanks a Million
Where the breeze seems to say, don't you worry,
with Alice Faye.
things are bound to pick up pretty soon. Here, neath the sky on the hilltop, seems to me the world is all in tune. I forget all the bustle and hurry, tossing all my troubles to the moon. I know someone will love me, and everything will be just grand. Just so the stars up above me continue doing business at the same old stand. It's mighty sweet in the evening when I've had a busy afternoon, sitting high, high, high on a hilltop, tossing all my troubles to the moon.
Sing it again, Rick.
I'm sitting high on the hill.
Oh, Rick, the grouse.
Yeah, listen to that.
Where the breeze seems to say, don't you
Hey.
worry. How do you like that, wise guy?
Oh, that's really awful.
Yeah, well, maybe you know how I feel when you open that big bazoo of yours.
You mean I sound like you do?
Look, Diamond, what do you think the rats keep jumping out of my window for?
Well, maybe if you had some plastic surgery.
And your crummy jokes are as bad as your crummy singing. So please, save the world from a horrible fate and cut your throat or something.
Oh, yeah? Well, let me tell you, old boy.
I'm sitting high on a hilltop, tossing all my troubles. Hey, you! Shut up! We want to hear Diamond.
Yeah, shut your big bazoo.
Yeah, shut up! What's that?
You heard us. We want to hear Mr. Diamond.
No, no, no.
Rick.
Yeah, my dear public.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg, Lieutenant Levinson by Ed Begley. Also in our cast were Wilms Herbert, Peter Leeds, Yvonne Patey, Stephen Dunn, and Jack Crucian. Music was under the direction of Frank Worth. Richard Diamond is written and directed by Blake Edwards. Portions were transcribed. Dick Powell soon will be seen in the screen version of the best-selling novel, Mrs. Mike. Now, this is Eddie King inviting you to be with us again at the same time next week when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. What's on NBC tomorrow? Detective story fans will want to hear Madeline Carroll and Basil Rathbone in the detective melodrama The Amazing Dr. Clitterhouse, tomorrow on Theater Guild on the Air. And for more detecting, listen tomorrow for The Adventures of Sam Spade. He'll present his most humorous caper of the season. Yes, you'll enjoy both Theater Guild and Sam Spade tomorrow on NBC. Next, it's Free Ride to Danger with Dorothy McGuire on NBC. Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective.
Diamond Detective Agency, surplus homicide, surplus hand grenades, black market embalming.
Oh,
Rick.
Oh, Helen, what's with you?
It's what's with you I'm worried about.
What do you mean, what's with me?
You know what's with you.
Now, you stop that. That's my routine.
I want that which you pilfered from the living room the other night, and I want it back, and I want it right away.
Oh, but Helen, baby.
Don't you baby me. Now, you get it down here.
But I can't leave the office. I just got in. I haven't even washed out one sock.
Rick, it wasn't fair when you stole that picture, and I've been embarrassed about it ever since. Now, I want it back.
Oh, but honey, don't be that way. It looks lovely.
Can you see it?
Well, sure. Got it right on my desk.
Now, Rick, I won't have it.
Now, look. If anybody asks about it, I'll say it's me.
You never were a baby. You started with a beard and a low whistle.
Honey, I had a baby picture just like it once, and believe me, from the way you were facing in the picture, you couldn't tell the difference between us.
I'm lying on a rug. You probably had yours taken on spikes. Now, you bring that right over, or I'll tell everybody your middle name.
Helen.
I'll see you in 20 minutes, or I'll take a full-page ad in the Times.
You wouldn't.
20 minutes. With the picture. Bye.
Helen. Oh, dandy.
Mr. Diamond?
Yes, but I'm afraid you'll have to come back. I've got to take care of something that might mean my whole future as a private detective.
I'm sorry. I won't keep you, but... Well, could you tell me the name of another good detective?
There aren't any. Goodbye.
Oh, please. I don't know where to go.
Oh, now, well, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Something's really wrong, isn't it?
Oh, well, that's all right, Mr. Diamond. You go on. I'll find someone.
Look, I really didn't know you were in a tough spot. I've got enough time to listen.
Oh, thank you.
Who recommended me?
My son. Oh, I've heard about you for several years. My name's Kirby. Mrs. Lenore Kirby.
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? Just how did your son know me?
Well, he didn't know you well, only by reputation. He was a private detective also.
Kirby? Bill Kirby?
Yes.
Wow. Now, tell me what's worrying you, Mrs. Kirby.
Well, I don't know quite where to start. Bill has been acting strangely for the last month or so.
What exactly do you mean by strangely?
Well, he's changed. He's begun to act nervous and irritable. When his sister or I would try to find out what was wrong, he'd get angry. He got steadily worse. And then one morning, Gloria...
Gloria?
My daughter, Bill's sister.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, she went into his room. He was asleep, so she started to hang up his trousers. When she turned them upside down, a lot of money dropped on the floor.
Oh? Well, what do you mean, a lot of money?
Well, Gloria said there must have been several $1,000s. Mostly $100 bills.
Did he have another source of income? I mean, besides the private detective business?
Oh, no. At least nothing I know of. We're not wealthy, Mr. Diamond. Bill supports us with what he makes, and Gloria works as a secretary in a law firm, and I try to keep my house in order. Of course, I haven't been terribly well since the children's father died 10 years ago.
I see. Then what happened?
Well, Gloria started to put the money back in Bill's trousers, and he woke up. They had a terrible argument. Bill accused her of snooping, and she accused him of doing something illegal. The next day, Bill packed his clothes and left the house. He took a small apartment on 110th Street.
Now, what is it you want me to do?
Oh, well, there's more to the story. Bill continued to send me money to keep the house going, much more than he'd ever contributed before. I went over to his apartment several times and asked him about the money, and every time there'd be an argument.
Did he give you any kind of an excuse?
No, he just said he'd run into a good thing, and that as long as it was helping out with the house, I shouldn't ask any questions.
All right. Then what happened?
Well, 3 days ago, Bill came over to the house. I could tell he was terribly worried about something. He gave me a package, told me to hide it until he came for it and not to open it. Then he disappeared. He didn't go to his office or his apartment, and I haven't heard from him since.
Did you call the police?
Well, I didn't want to. He's mixed up in something. Oh, Mr. Diamond, I'm sure something's happened to my boy. I just know it has.
Look, Mrs. Kirby, I admit it sounds a little fishy, but you never can tell. Maybe it's a girl. Could be a lot of things. Where do you live?
984 Amsterdam Avenue. Oh, thank you.
Now, you go on home. Take it easy. I'll let you know if anything turns up.
All right. I'm sorry I don't usually cry like this. Oh, Mr. Diamond, about your fee.
Mrs. Kirby?
Yes.
Do you cook?
Why, yes, I'm considered quite a good cook.
Well, if I do anything for your son, I'm a sucker for corned beef and cabbage. Now, go on home, and I'll keep in touch with you.
Goodbye, Mr. Diamond. And God bless you.
I'm afraid he knows me too well. Goodbye, Mrs. Kirby. Funny how you can run into a situation like that. Any other time, it's got to be $100 a day in expenses. But that's because trouble doesn't usually bother me. There's too much of it around, and everybody's a stockholder. Then a little old lady walks in with a bucket full of heartache, and you realize the $100 a day in expenses is only the difference you carry around to make up for that big cold world outside. I put my merit badge away, grabbed Helen's picture off the desk, and headed for 975 Park Avenue.
Well, you're late. I was just going to call the papers, but I wasn't quite sure how you spell your middle name. It's, C-H-O...
Here's the picture.
Thank you.
I didn't know you had a mole in your...
Rick. Aren't you coming in?
No, I'm not. I'm mad. Won't even let me keep your little old baby picture. Now, about that mole...
Now, you stop that. Why can't you come in?
Well, I got a client right after I talk to you. I got to go down to the 5th precinct and do some checking.
Will I see you tonight?
If you'll tell me about the mole.
Now, Rick.
See you at 8. Bye, mole. A Sam. A baby. I left Helen and started down Park Avenue. Every private detective must get a license before he can operate, and the police department has to issue it. So I headed for the 5th Precinct Police Station. When I walked in the squad room, I spotted Sergeant Otis looking like he was headed for the elephant's graveyard. What's the matter with you, Otis? You're greener than a new lawn.
Oh, hello, Shamus. I don't feel so good.
No, as a matter of fact, you don't. A little pudgy around the shoulders.
Ah, come on, lay off. I tell you, I feel sick.
Let's see your tongue.
Huh? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Well, how's it look?
I don't know. But be careful who you show it to. Somebody's liable to think it's poisonous and kill it with a stick. Hello, Walt.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm too tired to be scared off today. Who's dead and where?
Not today, Walt. And what are you so tired about?
We had a killing this morning. I've questioned every suspect in the whole state. Nothing.
Who got dead?
Maybe you knew him. Or Shamus.
Kirby?
What? Hey, how the devil did you know that?
Just a guess.
Guess my 38. Do you know something?
I didn't know anything, Walt. Kirby's mother was just at my office.
Oh.
Yeah, oh.
Well, you don't have to get sore.
I'm not sore. Just wondering who's going to tell Mrs. Kirby.
Otis went over there a little while ago. He saw the sister. The mother wasn't home yet.
Oh, that's why he looks so bad.
Yeah, I guess so. Wouldn't you?
Okay, where's the body?
Downstairs. You want to take a look?
Not especially. I told his mother I'd do something for him, and right now I don't seem to be able to think of a thing.
Get the killer. Help me.
Okay, let's go down and take a look.
Right over here.
Been in the river.
Yeah. Put 4 slugs in him first, though.
What kind of a gun?
12-gauge shotgun. Used a deer load.
Anything on him?
Just the usual identification.
Okay, let's put him back.
I don't know why he got knocked off. No motive, no nothing.
The mother has quite a story.
Yeah?
She told me your son...
Hey, Lieutenant!
Oh, no. Yeah?
And here comes Malicious.
Hey, we just got a call. Kirby's mother and sister just got beat up. Something awful.
What?
Come on, Walt.
Oh, this is crazy. First the son gets it for no apparent reason, then the rest of the family get beat up.
I think I can tell you why the mother and sister got beat up.
Yeah, why?
Probably the package Kirby left with his mother.
What package?
I'll tell you about it on the way over in the car.
Okay, Otis, okay. Come on, step on it.
Lieutenant.
Yeah. This time you can use the siren.
Oh, boy.
Hello, Mr. Diamond. Come in.
Hello, Mrs. Kirby. The doctor tells us you won't allow them to take you to the hospital.
No, I'm not leaving my house. It'll take more than 2 cheap hoodlums to drive me out of my house.
Well, the doctor says you'll be all right, but I think the hospital might be safer for a few days.
This is Lieutenant Levinson, Mrs. Kirby.
How'd you do,
How do you
Lieutenant?
do? I know you don't feel much like talking.
Oh, no, that's quite all right. I'll be glad to help in any way that I can.
Were they after the package your son left with you?
Yes, but I didn't give it to them. I almost did when they started to hit Gloria, but I knew they had something to do with Bill's death.
And you knew the package was important, too.
Yes,
Oh, where is the package, Mrs. Kirby?
in the bread box, in a bread wrapper.
Pretty cute.
Otis,
Yeah, Lieutenant?
go in the kitchen and bring me the loaf of bread in the bread box.
You want some sardines, too?
Otis, just the bread, please.
Oh, okay.
Mrs. Kirby, the 2 men who came here, do you think you could identify them?
Oh, yes, it would be hard to forget them.
You're sure you don't have any idea what kind of trouble your son was in?
No.
Here's the bread, Lieutenant.
Yeah. Well, I'll be...
Hey, it's a shoe.
Is this one of your son's shoes, Mrs. Kirby?
No, he wears a much smaller size. No, that isn't his shoe.
I don't get this. Nothing in it, just a shoe.
A big one. What size is it?
Hey,
What's the matter?
well, the shoe size on the inside, it says 6B and then 5 numbers after it.
Well, if that's a 6B, Otis wears matchboxes.
Oh, yeah?
Otis.
Oh, okay.
I don't understand. Why would Bill leave a shoe and act like it was so important?
Because it probably was very important.
You think these numbers?
Could be. Let's see. Well, if these numbers do mean anything, it sure isn't going to be easy finding out. Here's something, Walt.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Shoe's got new heels on it. It's been half soled.
Otis.
Yeah, Lieutenant.
Take the shoe down at the station. Give it to the lab. See what they can find out. And then get the boys out and check every shoe repair shop in the city. I want to know where the shoe was half sold.
Okay.
Mrs. Kirby, you're sure you can't think of a thing that might give us a tip about your son?
No, nothing, Mr. Diamond.
Rick, I'm going down to the station. Find out about that shoe. And then I'll send our rogues gallery over so Mrs. Kirby can try and pick out the 2 guys who worked her over. Oh, check with me if you find out anything, will you?
Right, Walt?
Mr. Diamond, there's no reason for you to go on with this case. My son's dead. You can't help him now. I'm sure your business is very important.
Mrs. Kirby, I said I'd do something for your son. Well, I was a little late. Now I'm going to do something for me. There's a killer loose, and 2 slobs who beat up women. I'm a little unhappy, Mrs. Kirby, so I've got to square this beef the only way I know how. First, I'd like to talk to your daughter. Now, look, Gloria. It's tough, and I don't like to stick my big nose in when it is. But you want something done about it, don't you?
Yes.
Then think real hard. Can you tell me anything about your brother that might be connected with his death?
No, Mr. Diamond. I've thought and thought and thought. I just can't understand it.
Well, you may have been looking for the wrong thing, a reason or a motive. That's not what I want.
What do you want?
Something you might not even realize, something that might not seem important, but is very important. Now try to think. When you first began to suspect that your brother was in trouble, did he mention any names, talk about any places?
No, not that I can remember.
What did he do when he wasn't at his office?
Oh, please, I don't know. I just don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mom and I appreciate what you're doing, Mr. Diamond. Right now it's hard for me, but I'll try.
Okay. No places? No names? Did he have a girl?
No, he didn't have a girl. He led a fairly simple life. Had a regular routine.
Routine?
Mm-hmm. Mom used to worry about it sometimes. Said he didn't have enough fun. Didn't know anybody.
What kind of a routine was this?
Well, the usual thing around the house in the morning. He'd go to work. On his way home, he always stopped at a bar on Columbus Avenue for a beer. Then home. Dinner. Read until 10:30 or 11. Go to bed.
Nothing else?
No, he did that every day. At least up until the time when he started acting funny and I found all that money.
I see. Well, thanks. I'll let you know if anything turns up, Gloria.
Thank you, Mr. Diamond. I hope you...
Yeah. I left the Kirby house and walked out on the street. It was getting near 6 o'clock and a light breeze was blowing the night in. It was turning cold, so I flipped my collar up and started for Columbus Avenue and the bar that Bill Kirby used to stop in for a beer. I turned down 88th Street, picked up speed to shake the chill out of my ankles.
Hey, you.
Yeah?
You Diamond?
So what?
So where's the shoe?
Oh, you're going to find it harder working me over than a couple of women.
Working you over, maybe, yeah. Killing you? Everybody dies easy. Give me the shoe.
Where's your friend?
Move in this alley. I'll give you an introduction.
I'm busy.
You're going to be busy getting dead if you don't get in the alley. I got my gun in my pocket.
I bet you shrink 4 feet when you aren't carrying it.
What? Okay.
Did you get him?
Yeah. But it don't look like he's got the shoe on him.
Yeah, but he knows where it is.
Tell me, boys, is it fun beating up women?
More fun beating up those gumshoes. Ain't it, Danny?
Sure. You want to tell us where the shoe is, Shamus?
Right now, it should be in the police lab.
Hey, Danny, you think those cops really took it out of the house?
I don't know. I couldn't see. Diamond, I still think the old dame gave it to you when she went up to see you at your office this morning.
What did you kill her son for?
Who said I killed him, friend? Kirby got smart about the shoe like you did. He got dead for his trouble. How do you feel about your future, friend?
Pretty good. The cops will figure that shoe out.
Not unless they know what they're looking for. He ain't got the shoe on him, Bart. I think he's telling the truth. Let's go tell the boss.
Yeah, what do we do with the gumshoe?
Oh, I'm surprised at you, Bart. Give me your sap.
Hey, now wait a minute.
For what?
Okay. You gonna knock him off?
I get a salary for killing. The boss ain't paying me to knock this guy off. I want to save him in case he thinks I should later on. Let's go.
It isn't easy coming out of a fast beating. When the guy works you over slow, you don't go to sleep right away. Not until he wants you to anyway. Then he taps you with a good one, and that's it. When he does it in a hurry, the first one's enough to stun a dragon, but for some reason he decides you need a few more. And, friend, that's when coma sets in. When I finally pulled myself out of it, my watch said 7 o'clock, and my head felt like a balloon with rice in it. I finally came around to a reasonable way of thinking and headed for the bar on Columbus Avenue.
Yes, sir? Holy Ike.
Give me anything with nerves in it and tell me where your phone is.
Sure. You're a mess.
Yeah, I know. Been advertising a popular cigarette. Been stepping out of thousands of store windows all over the country. Now, where's your phone?
Right over there, the end of the bar. Hey, you want I should put some plasma in this drink?
Oh, that was a Jim dandy.
Lieutenant Levinson, homicide.
Walt, Rick,
Rick, where the devil you been?
playing patty cake with the 2 gonniffs who worked over Mrs. Kirby and her daughter.
Well, we've been trying to get you. Otis been calling blondes all over town. Mrs. Kirby and her daughter identify the 2 hoods.
First name's Bart and Danny?
Yeah, Bart Franchetti and Danny Miller. We have a pickup out on them now. They hurt you bad?
Oh, I'll make it, but I'm going to ache for a while. What did you find out about the shoe?
Well, we really got some fast action on those half-soles. Figured if Kirby picked him up in a shoe repair shop, it must have been somewhere in his neighborhood. We were lucky. We were right. Little shoe shop on Columbus Avenue.
Columbus Avenue? What address?
695. Why?
Because I'm in a bar right across the way.
Huh?
Can't see the shoe store now because it's too dark, but Kirby's sister told me you used to come in here for dinner. He could have watched it then.
Oh, stay there. I'll be right over.
Here you are, mister.
Thanks. Say, did you know Bill Kirby?
The Shamus? Oh, sure. What do you mean, did I know him?
He's pretty dead.
Oh, no.
He came in here every day, didn't he?
Yeah, for a beer. But come to think of it, I ain't seen him since he left...
Left you what?
Nothing at all.
Now, wait a minute. If Kirby left you anything, let's have it.
If Kirby's dead, I'll turn it over to the cops.
You want the badge?
Oh, well, okay. Why didn't you say so? I got in the cash register. He told me if anything happened to him to turn it over to the law. Okay. Here. Just an envelope.
Thanks.
What is it?
A name and address. Look. Lieutenant Levinson will be here in a few minutes. Tell him I've gone to this address, 18 North River.
That's down near the docks.
Yeah, and tell him I've gone to find a guy named, James Willis.
Continental Shipping. Mr. Lund, one moment, please. Continental Shipping. Mr. Willis, who's calling? One moment, please.
Honey, is Mr. Willis in?
Yes. But the emergency hospital's on the second floor.
I always go around this way. It makes people notice me. Which is Mr. Willis's office, dear?
Right over there, but I'm afraid you can't...
Here's the badge, baby.
Oh,
And don't ring him.
yes, sir.
Yes? What?
Well. James Willis. When did you change your name from Kozlik?
Now, look, Diamond. I've got a good job here. I never could have gotten it if the company had known I was James Kozlik and I'd done time.
In the shipping business, huh? What's an old-time safecracker like you doing in the shipping business?
You're not a cop anymore, Diamond. You helped put me away once, but I've quit the rackets, and I'm doing fine in a legit way. Now you can leave.
What does your company ship?
We're in export and import firm. We ship and receive everything. Now get out.
What does your company import that might interest two professional thugs like Bart and Danny?
What? I don't know what you mean.
Where do you have your shoes fixed? Little place on Columbus Avenue, maybe?
I don't know what you're talking about, and I don't intend to sit here and listen to you and your riddles. Miss Williams, will you please have one of the watchmen sent in to show Mr. Diamond out?
Yes, sir. But two gentlemen wish to see you. They say it's very important.
Well, I can't see anyone.
Well, I think maybe you better. They seem very definite.
Miss Williams, I don't...
What's the matter, Mr. Willis?
Diamond, let go of my hair.
Tell her to show the gentleman in, or I'll make Sitting Bull look like a piker. Go on.
Send the two gentlemen in, Miss Williams.
Okay. I'm going over here behind the door. You be a good boy.
You nearly pulled all my hair out.
Well, what's the difference? The way things look, the state might have to shave your head anyway.
Hey, Willis, we want to talk to you.
Well, what's the matter? You sore because we came up here?
Yeah, what's with that guy? He just sits there holding his head.
Good evening, boys.
Hey, look who's here.
Yeah, it's the shamus. And he looked pretty.
You fools, you two blundering fools.
Now, wait a minute. If you're worried about Diamond, we'll take care of it.
I told you I could never be seen with you. You know how we're all watched when the gold shipments come in?
Oh, that's it. That's what the shoe was all about.
Yeah, you're a smart one.
Shut up. I've got to think.
You got the confidential shipping report and put it in that shoe in some kind of code so it could be picked up. Then your dear little boys were going to try to hijack the gold. Well.
Want me to shut him up?
No, you crazy. That secretary saw him come in. Take him out the same way.
I'm going to be stubborn.
Yeah?
Oh, okay. Isn't it silly what a little 38 can do?
Let's go.
All right, but look, as long as I'm probably going to end up in the river, would you mind telling me one thing?
Yes, I do.
No, that's swell. That's really swell. Kirby recognized you going into that shoe store. He remembered you had a record, so he probably tailed you. Found out where you worked and went back to take a look at that shoe. He found the same thing wrong that I did. The numbers weren't his shoe size, and he probably thought it was crazy when you left only one shoe. So he took the shoe.
You always were a pretty smart cop, Diamond. Danny.
Yeah, boss.
Before you kill the smart cop, pull his hair out.
Pull his hair out?
By the roots. Now take him out of here.
Was Kirby blackmailing you, Willis?
Yes. Being stupid, he didn't know what the shoe was for, but he knew it was worth something. Now, please, Danny, get Mr. IQ through that door.
Move.
Okay.
I'm looking for Mr. Willis, miss.
Well, so's everybody else. Busy with green.
Yeah, what's funny, shamus?
You boys are in for a big surprise.
Oh, Mr. Willis must be free. Here they come now.
Just keep walking, Shamus. Nothing's wrong.
Oh, are you gentlemen through with Mr. Willis?
Yeah, Fatso, go on in. He'll see you.
Thank you.
Let's go, Shamus.
Oh, one more thing.
Yeah, now what?
Duck, Rick!
Thanks, Walt.
And you take it easy, Bart.
I ain't going from the gun. I ain't doing nothing. Please, don't shoot.
Walt, James Willis is really James Kozlik. I'm going in after him.
Well, here, Cat, you'll need a gun. Is he in there?
Out the window. I went over to the window fast and spotted my man just dropping down off the fire escape. The building fronted on a long dock, and Willis had 50 yards to go before he could find cover. Then I said that stupid thing. Willis! In the name of the law, stop! Well, he didn't stop in the name of the law, so I rested my arm on the windowsill and led him about 2 feet. At 50 yards, a running man can be hard to hit with a .38. Sometimes.
You get him, Rick?
Yeah. See you down at the station.
How do you like it, Rick?
No cream. 12 lumps.
All right. Say, I had a phone call from the president of Continental Shipping where that Willis guy worked.
Oh, what do you make this coffee out of? Gunpowder?
He says there's always been a standing reward of $1,000 for the apprehension of any person attempting to rob their shipment.
Hey, Diamond, Miss Asher phoned. She wants you should call.
Thanks, Otis.
Thanks. What's wrong with you?
You heard him, Otis. He said thanks.
Okay. He must be sick.
More coffee, Rick?
Yeah, I'll have another cup.
Hello?
Hi, honey.
Rick, where are you? I thought you were coming over.
Well, baby, I've got to stop by and see a nice old lady named Kirby. Her son got killed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Will I see you later?
No, I don't think so, honey. I'm a little tired.
All right, Rick.
Well, don't sound too unhappy. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Well, all right. But you always sing to me, and I wanted you to sing tonight.
Well, I haven't gotten any letters from the apartment building next door yet, so I'm going to lay off 1 week and see if the tenants miss the singing.
All right, Rick. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Goodbye, baby.
Bye, Rick.
Well, I think I'd better get over to Mrs. Kirby's, Walt.
Oh, don't you want your coffee?
Yeah, give it to Otis.
What are you going to tell Mrs. Kirby? I mean about her son and the blackmail.
Well, what are you going to tell Continental Shipping?
Well, you caught him. You get the 1,000.
Oh, Mrs. Kirby's pretty broke.
Uh-huh.
Kirby was the one who really spotted the play.
Yeah, but if I say anything about the blackmail...
What blackmail?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, come to think of it, that was another case, wasn't it?
See you later, Walt.
Rick.
Yeah?
Oh, nothing. Be a good boy.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Helen was played by Virginia Gregg, Lieutenant Levinson by Ed Begley. Also in our cast were Wilms Herbert, Stephen Dunn, Peggy Weber, and William Johnstone. Music was under the direction of Frank Worth. Richard Diamond is written by Blake Edwards and directed by Richard Sandell. Dick Powell soon will be seen in the screen version of the best-selling novel, Mrs. Mike. Now, this is Eddie King inviting you to be with us again at the same time next week when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. Saturday night brings some of the week's best radio entertainment when you tune for the stars on NBC. Stay tuned every Saturday for a great lineup of programs, including Hollywood Star Theater, Ralph Edwards' Truth or Consequences, Your Hit Parade, A Day in the Life of Dennis Day, The Judy Canova Show, and Grand Ole Opry. All the best on NBC.
Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Well, if it ain't Richard Diamond, the smiling gumshoe.
Well, if it ain't Sergeant Otis, the laughing hyena. The lieutenant in?
Yeah, go on in and spoil his afternoon.
You know, Otis, I think you've got the kindest, most wonderful face in the whole wide world.
You do?
Absolutely. But I do wish you'd do me a favor.
Well, sure, anything.
Stop wearing it upside down. Hello, Walt.
Hello, Rick. Sit down.
Oh, thanks. What's doing?
Want a sandwich?
I'll take some of that coffee.
Sure. Something on your mind, Rick?
No, just got tired of sitting around the office.
No business?
Not in a week. Got any sugar?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Here. Yeah, Otis?
Lieutenant, I got some guy on the phone who won't give me his name. Says he wants to talk to you. Matter of life and death.
Okay, put him on.
Right.
Homicide, Lieutenant Levinson.
I'm going to say this once, so listen carefully. Tonight, somewhere in New York City, I'm going to kill a man, and there's nothing you can do about it.
What?
Promptly at 8 o'clock, somewhere in this city, I'm going to kill a man.
Hello? Hello?
Something wrong?
Some guy says he's going to kill somebody at 8 o'clock tonight.
No, dandy.
Crank.
Did he say who his victim was going to be?
No, just a crank.
I should have humored him. Made suggestions. My landlord, for instance.
Be a little gruesome if he really did it.
Yeah. You'd have a hard time protecting 8 million people from a killer you don't know anything about.
Hope it was just a crank. Otis,
Yeah, Lieutenant.
if that guy calls back, put him through and trace the call.
Right.
It sure would be miserable if that call was on the level.
Oh, relax. I'll have some more coffee. I had some more coffee. Walt worried a little, not a lot, because the big precinct caters to a good number of cranks every day. We talked about old times, and around 6, I matched Walt for dinner. He stuffed himself at the automat until I ran out of change and begged for mercy. Then he dropped me off at my flat on 53rd and went back to the precinct. I showered, shaved, slipped into my blue suit, and headed for the door. Yeah?
Do me a favor, will you, Rick?
You gotta stop stuffing yourself, Walt. You sound like you got indigestion.
I'm down at the morgue. Meet me here, please.
Oh, now look, I got a date with a live one.
I'm in on the start of some trouble. It's liable to grow. That guy who called made good. He stabbed a man to death on Broadway at 8 o'clock.
Here he is, Lieutenant.
Hello, Walt.
Hi, Rick. Thanks for coming down. Okay, Hal.
Who is he? Or, who was he?
Brother identified him, Abraham Weiss. Stabbed in the heart from behind with a long, thin instrument.
On Broadway at 8 o'clock.
That's right. Dozen people saw him stagger to the curb and fall. Most of them just thought he was drunk.
You think your boy on the phone did it?
8 o'clock, right on the nose. Whoever did it must have walked up behind him, jabbed him just below the left shoulder blade, and kept on walking.
What do you want me for, Walt?
If this guy on the phone did kill Abraham Weiss and we can't find a motive, it's a little more than a simple killing. We may be mixed up with a madman.
Oh, so I qualify in that league.
You're one of the few guys who really is interested in criminal psychology.
Well, I think it's the answer. You can't stop something unless you know the cause.
Will you give me a hand, Rick?
Sure.
I've got Weiss's family at the station.
Let's go see them.
Why, Lieutenant? Why did this happen to Abe?
That's what we're going to try and find out, Mrs. Weiss. We were hoping you might help us.
Well, he didn't have any enemies. He was a good man. We have 3 children. I left them with Mrs. Bellotti, my neighbor. It's going to be hard on them.
You're sure your husband didn't know it?
No. He didn't have any enemies. He was a good husband and a good father. Everybody liked him. Only last week, Mrs. Dowd up the street from us.
We'd like a list of your brother's friends, Mr. Weiss. Where he worked, people he had business with, anyone you can remember who might give us a lead.
Been sitting out there thinking about that. There just isn't anyone that I know would want to kill Abe. He was a good guy, did his job, took care of Louise and the kids. He didn't bother nobody.
How long were Louise and Abe married?
6 years, maybe a little more.
Nice girl, Louise.
Oh, the best. Good wife.
What happens to her now?
I'll take care of her.
You're not married, huh?
No.
Quite a job taking care of a widow and 3 kids.
I'm doing all right. It's the least I can do.
You got a girl?
Yeah, why?
Maybe going to get married, huh?
Well, I'm engaged. I've been thinking about it. It'll have to wait for a while, I guess. Until Louise gets back on her feet.
Okay. Tell us about some of your brother's friends.
Well, I guess his best friend was Art Brearley. They was awful close for years.
He told us about everyone he could think of. Gave us a dozen names and addresses we could check. Like Louise, Martin couldn't figure why anyone would want to kill Abraham Weiss. The next was Mrs. Rebecca Weiss, tired, the hurt in her eyes enough for all the mothers who had raised a son and lost him.
We'll try not to keep you too long, Mrs. Weiss.
It's all right, Lieutenant. You want to help?
Would you like a glass of water?
No. When will I be able to see Manson? It's right that I should see Manson.
A few questions first, if you don't mind.
I know you're trying to help. Just a few questions. As many as you like, Lieutenant.
Not long with Mrs. Rebecca Weiss. Nothing that would help to catch her son's killer. So we checked the people who had known Abraham, and there were plenty. His boss gave us a few more names to add to the long list. All of them friends who couldn't imagine why anyone would want to kill a nice guy like Abe. At 7:30 the next morning, Walt looked at reports and poured more coffee.
Here. I'll put sugar in it.
Thanks.
If that phone call was on the level, why would a guy kill like that? Call us and tell us he was going to do it. What'd be his reason?
Well, couldn't guess. But if that guy who called did do the killing, you can bet he'll phone again.
Why?
Well, he bragged he was going to do it. He'll want the credit.
Well, I gotta get some rest. A couple hours anyway.
Let's both get a couple. Yeah?
Sorry.
It doesn't matter. Lousy dream. What time is it?
5 o'clock.
Oh, I died, didn't I?
Our boy called again.
Oh? You trace it?
Phone booth in Grand Central.
What do you have to say?
Not much. Wanted to know how he liked his handiwork.
What's a good answer to that one?
Well, I said a few things, but I guess he figured we weren't satisfied, so he promised he'd kill somebody else tonight.
Hello, Rick. Seen the papers?
No.
Here.
Fiend terrorizes city. Unknown killer murders at will. Police baffled.
Everybody's on my back.
Exactly. What did he say?
You want to hear? I made a recording.
Let's hear it.
Okay, Otis, put him on.
Hello, Lieutenant.
Yeah?
What do you think now, Lieutenant? I did what I said I was going to do, didn't I?
Look, who is this?
The man who called yesterday and said he was going to kill someone at 8 o'clock last night.
I don't believe it.
Well, certainly you do. You'd like to stall so you can have this call traced. Well, you'd better listen. I want everybody to know just how stupid the police force really is. I'm going to kill again tonight, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Look, you, whoever you are, if it's the last thing I ever do, I'll...
Tonight at 8, another innocent victim will die because the police can do nothing about it.
Hello? Hello? Otis!
The call came from a phone booth in Grand...
He said another innocent victim.
Yeah, so he's a nut. For some reason, he hates the police force. There's your motive.
Well, I guess it's possible, but something sticks in my craw.
Yeah? What?
8 o'clock. Why pick 8 o'clock both times?
Well, I guess, like you said, he wants the credit. We're liable to get a couple of killings in an evening. He wants us to be sure which one he did.
Okay, so he makes it 8 o'clock the first time. Why the second? Why not 6 or 7 or 10 or...
Just following a pattern, I guess.
Maybe so. Well, what'll we do?
I got every man possible on the streets. But, Rick, let's face it, this is a pretty big city. And it's 6-2 and even. If he does kill again, it won't be anywhere near the scene of his first stabbing.
I guess we just wait.
Yeah. A little over an hour to go.
So we waited. Walt got the coffee going, and I went through a whole package of cigarettes. Somewhere in the middle of New York, probably on a crowded street, a man was walking, waiting like we were for 8 o'clock. Waiting to stab someone through the heart. Waiting for 8 o'clock.
More coffee?
No.
Give me a cigarette.
You don't smoke.
Want to bet?
Here.
Got a match?
Got a lighter. This is no good.
Yeah? Let's go.
Where to?
Entrance to Madison Square Garden. Man stabbed to death in the crowd going into the fights. Right at 8 o'clock.
A man murdered going into Madison Square Garden to see the fights. Stabbed through the heart while he stood in the middle of the large crowd. We went through the same routine. Identify the body. Question witnesses who had been close to him. See his friends. Anyone who knew him.
Name's Leon Ellis. Small-time fight manager. No family. Handles a young kid named Billy Martin. Wasn't fighting last night.
At 10 o'clock the next morning, we found Billy Martin working at the East Side Gym. We talked to him for a while, but he couldn't help much. So we kept going, making our list of names, talking to everyone, all morning and into the afternoon. By 4:30, we were holding each other up.
Look, we're working with a madman who kills anybody close to him so he can show how helpless we are to stop him. The whole city's in a panic. The newspapers are blasting everybody in the department, yours truly in particular. Yeah?
I got him on the line again. He even bragged to me about this last killing.
Trace it as fast as you can.
Right.
Start that recorder, Rick. It's our boy again.
Okay. Go ahead.
5th Precinct, Lieutenant Levinson.
You can skip the formalities, Lieutenant. Your sergeant told you who was on the line. Well, I did it again last night, didn't I, Lieutenant?
Okay, so we can't stop you. I admit it. I'll admit it to the papers. That should make you happy. The police department can't do anything about it. That's what you want, isn't it?
Again tonight, Lieutenant. One more person will die.
Now, wait a minute. At least give me a chance to talk to
While
you.
you trace the call? No. Tonight at 8 o'clock, and you can't stop me.
Hello? Yeah?
Call came from a phone booth in Rockefeller Center.
Pick's the right place to call from. We look pretty silly rounding up everybody in Rockefeller Center.
Walt looked sick, and I felt it. What could we do? We knew nothing about our killer or where he'd strike next. Walt called in the reporters and gave them the story. The papers would blast the department, but it was the best way to warn the public to stay off the streets. The department was alerted, radio stations were given bulletins to broadcast, and Walt and I climbed into a prowl car and started cruising. At 8:05, it came in.
Attention, all units in the vicinity of Zone 12. A 211 in front of 415 West 64th. 415 William 64. Ambulance, dead body. Car 73, come in, please.
7-3, go ahead.
211 at 415 West 64 is a stabbing, Lieutenant.
Roger. That's it, Rick.
The victim was an elderly man dressed expensively and lying face down on the sidewalk. Again, no witnesses to the killing. Most of the people who had seen the man fall realized almost immediately what had happened because of the publicity on the last two killings. But like one man said...
Well, how are you going to see who killed him in a crowd like this? Maybe 100 people on the block when it happens. Boy, you guys better start doing something.
Yes, sir?
Does Mr. Arthur Reeves live here?
Yes, sir, but Mr. Reeves is not in at the moment.
I'm from the police. Lieutenant Levinson, homicide.
Homicide?
I'd like to talk with everybody in the house.
Certainly, sir. Has something happened to Mr. Reeves?
He's been murdered.
Oh, no. No, not Mr. Reeves.
How many people in the house?
Myself, the maid, and Mr. George Reeves, Mr. Reeves' nephew.
Tell him I'd like to talk with him.
And we talked with the three people in the dead man's house. The maid, the butler, and George Reeves, the nephew.
I warned him not to take his walk tonight. I showed him the papers.
Did he usually take walks at night?
That's for the past 15 years.
Know why anyone would want to kill him?
Mr. Reeves? Of course not. You know very good and well it was that fiend what did it.
How about you? Can you think of why anyone would want to kill your employer?
No, sir. I've been with Mr. Reeves for over 20 years. I'm acquainted with most of his friends and associates.
Look here. I can assure you that my uncle knew no one who would want to kill him.
You're his nephew?
That's right.
Your uncle took walks every night?
Yes, every night.
Well, if you don't mind, we'd like you all to come down at the station to make statements.
Okay, we got the statements, another list of names, and a long one. None of these killings tie together. Nobody on the first list has any connection with anybody on the second list. Let's face it, if that madman calls again, we can't stop him.
Oh, take it easy,
Well,
will you?
can we?
I want to talk to the maid, the butler, and the nephew again.
Why? It's just the same as all the others.
I want to talk to them, okay?
I'm sorry. Getting jumpy.
No, you're tired. So am I.
Otis, send in the maid. What are you doing?
Fixing the recorder. I may want to listen to it again. So we again talked to the maid, then the butler, then the nephew, and the tape recorder picked up everything they said, and it sounded very much like everything everybody else had said after the first two killings. Walt let them go home and went up to talk to the commissioner. When he came back, he looked pretty discouraged.
I'm sure on the griddle. Salvador, turn in my badge.
I want you to listen to something.
Oh, sure.
I've cut out sections of tape, stuck them together.
Mr. Reeves took walks every night after dinner, and dinner was always at 7?
That's right.
Then he always left sometimes close to 8?
Yes, 7:30 or 7:45.
He was never gone more than half an hour?
No.
What time did he leave tonight? About 7:45. Weren't you worried when he didn't come back within half an hour? Well, certainly. Both the maid and I were very anxious. Were you all in the house between 7:45 and the time we arrived? Yes, sir. Where was Mr. Reeves' nephew? In his room. He went up right after dinner. How wealthy was your employer?
He was very wealthy.
Mr. Reeves, who inherits your uncle's fortune? Why, I do. Was Mr. Reeves ever longer than half an hour with his walks?
Never more than a few minutes, one way or the other.
Who handles your uncle's affairs, Mr. Reeves? Well, Richard B. Gregg. He's been my uncle's attorney for many years.
Young Mr. Reeves has always been excitable. Gotten a lot of trouble in the past.
Yes, he argued with his uncle many times. No, Mr. Reeves didn't come down and ask why his uncle had been gone so long. Certainly I worried about my uncle, but I thought he might have stopped along the way for something or other.
Okay, so you took out pieces of the testimony and stuck them together. So what?
Just this. Every one of these killings have taken place at 8 o'clock.
I know, and it's worried you.
Now, this is the first time that one of our victims was certain to be out on the streets at 8 o'clock.
Coincidence?
Maybe. Mr. Reeves was a wealthy man, very wealthy.
And the nephew gets his money, and the nephew was in his room at the time of the killing.
Who saw him?
The butler and the maid both say he was up there.
So he climbs out a window. His uncle was killed only 2 blocks from the house. Plenty of time to stab him, get back through the window.
You're really reaching out, aren't you?
Sure I am. What do you want me to do?
Well, the nephew's voice certainly doesn't match the ones we got on the threatening phone calls.
So he disguises it. I got an idea.
What?
Let's put a tail on all 3 of these people anyway. It's not much. It's all we've got so far. I'm going out to check on something. What? Here's something that'll make your hair curl. I just saw the attorney for the Reeves estate, and he said the old man was planning on changing his will, leaving all his money to charity, not his nephew. He was supposed to meet with Mr. Reeves this morning.
And Reeves gets killed last night.
Pretty convenient for the nephew.
We can't arrest him on that.
No, but it makes a good motive.
You think the nephew would kill 2 men and then his uncle, just so it would look like a madman had picked out another innocent victim?
You gotta admit it'd be pretty clever.
There's an understatement. Yeah?
He's on the line again, Lieutenant. I'm tracing it.
Oh, no. Our boy again. There goes your theory. Hello?
You can't do anything, Lieutenant. I've killed 3 men, and you can't stop me. I'm going to kill again tonight at 8.
Hello? Was him, all right. Tonight at 8. Rick, we've just got to do... Yeah?
Call came from Grand Central again.
Okay. Well, what happens to your theory now?
Well, he might do it again. Expect you to react just this way. Who's tailing George Reeves?
Harrison.
When does he report in again?
Checks in on the hour. Last time was about 20 minutes ago.
40 minutes to go, huh? No way of contacting him?
No.
Okay, we wait.
Yeah? Yeah? Where was he at 4:46? Don't let him out of your sight.
Well?
At 4:46, George Reeves made a phone call from a booth in Grand Central Station. He's home now.
Well, we had something. A motive and a man calling from Grand Central, but not enough to make an arrest. We waited until 7 and then headed for the Reeves house.
The area is surrounded. He'll have 2 men on him no matter where he goes.
He's still in the house?
According to Harrison.
No, I want to do more than pick him up with a knife.
Here he comes.
Yeah, climbing into his car.
Attention, cars 31415. Suspect heading east. Proceed east on your street.
We tailed him, keeping in contact with the other cars as they stayed parallel. When Reeves turned off, we went on ahead, notified the car in our right or left to pick him up. That way Reeves wouldn't suspect a tail. About 7:30, we got a call that Reeves had parked. We headed for the spot in a hurry.
Suspect is heading north on Calder.
Oh, get ahead of him. Park at the corner of Davis. We'll pick him up there. We stopped at the corner and got out of the car. We waited until we spotted Reeves walking in our direction and then let him pass and followed, staying close. We kept after him until 5 minutes to 8. He swung out on Broadway and was pushing his way through the crowd. Then it happened.
Where'd he go?
We've lost him. Come on.
3 minutes to 8.
Let us through, please.
Well, I never...
Get out of the way.
Oh, you push!
Look out,
You see him turn off?
No, he's got to be... Walt, crossing the street.
Let's go.
Reeves.
What? No! Look out for the knife! No! Let me go! Drop it!
You okay?
Yeah. Here's the knife.
Young man, what right have you got to hit that nice gentleman? He was helping me across the street. I have a good mind to report
Lady. If this man was helping you across the street, just forget about him. Go bet on a horse or something. This is your lucky night.
Richard Diamond, Private Detective, stars Dick Powell in the title role and was written by Blake Edwards with music composed and conducted by Frank Worth. This is Bill Foreman speaking. Richard Diamond, Private Detective is transcribed in Hollywood by Jaime Del Valle. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.